Trying to fix this damn thing. Hold on. Yo, I don't know where that bright shit is coming from, yo. Let's see if I turn this, will it go away? I don't know what the fuck that is. It's the same shit. It don't. Every time I come in my room, that shit don't ever go away. I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe it's from this. Nope, it's still there. However, I guess we just gonna have to deal with it today. Let me share this shit. Oh, what up, Kenya? Let me turn this fan down. It's on hell. It's hot as fuck in my room.
There's 55 people in here, and there's only one like. Get that like.
And I just started. Yeah, I just got on here because J Rob said something earlier today in Everyday Atheist is live.
What do you
He
say?
said that the first people to have slaves in Egypt was the Hebrew Israelites, right?
No.
I'm like, he wasn't saying that before I told him who was the first people to have slaves.
Hold on real quick.
Out of the Jewish people.
So the Israelites were the first ones to have slaves?
They enslaved themselves. Because when he was talking to me and Mo, he said, well, the Hebrews were enslaved in Egypt. They were in bondage. I'm like, bro, the first people to enslave the Jews in Egypt is when they ruled. It's when the Jewish people ruled in Egypt. I told him that.
Is that
And it
true?
was the dude's name was Meshula. He was a Jew.
No.
What up?
Like a black Jew or a...
Hey, did you, Sinking Bear, did you watch that video? Yeah.
I think he blocked me yesterday or this morning. Last night.
Who did?
Daniel.
Who blocked you?
Singing Burr. I'm feeling some type of way. I was on somebody else's live. I was just asking some questions.
How you welcome, bro?
Suck
Thank you.
at
I
my
can't
rated.
understand though.
I don't know about you then. Okay, he's in the kitchen. You want a husky? Go play
Oh,
with the
you
dog.
still
Go.
got it, huh?
You're messing up my. I just swept this. Stay out the kitchen. I'm gonna let the
Yeah, but
dog
he
go.
said he was saying something like,
Okay.
I understand where he coming from, but this is my thing. And Mo always tell me that I can't be mad at people when they take the information and then they spread it. But my thing is give credit where credit is due.
Mhm.
Whenever I say something most stupid, whenever I say something, right? If I'm citing the
Mhm.
source, I'm telling people where to go. So I'm not just saying, oh, you know what? This is what I'm saying. I'm telling them, oh, this is where you can go cite the source. Like
Mhm.
the Jews enslaving themselves. You can go to Rap God WordPress. I think that's the name of the site. rapgodwordpress.com. No, rapgod dot. I'm trying to think how it is. rapgodwordpress.com. I think that's what it is. And that's where you can get the information from where the Jews were enslaving each other. They had
My
nothing to do. It had nothing to do with the Egyptians.
my headphones not making noise, is it?
A little bit.
I hear a static.
Um. Okay.
It ain't that bad.
Okay. Let me know when it gets back.
Oh wait, now it is.
Get
There
out
you
the
go.
window now. Um. No, I'm not happy.
Yeah, I mean that
Trinity,
is
be quiet.
definitely true, man. They definitely slaved themselves, and it's known if you look
But
all throughout the Old Testament,
he
they weren't
wasn't
messing up.
saying that shit before I told him that though.
Wait, who we talking about? I just got here.
J Rob.
Oh,
You remember he was talking to us and I told him that shit?
yeah. Nobody has accepted that. Whenever you say it, nobody agrees with that. They be like, man, get out of here. Where was he
Yep.
at when he started agreeing with that shit?
No, he said that in Everyday Atheist is live today. And I'm like, you can't just say that the Jews were enslaving themselves. You gotta tell them where you get this information from.
Right.
They cannot handle the truth at all.
That so you know what this
I'm
reveals?
not.
This shows that they're not really concerned with the truth. They want to be the one that's telling it. Because he'll deny it in your face, right? And then turn around and teach it to somebody else.
That's what he said. He said that's not true. I said go look the information up for yourself.
Trinity, do you not see the phone next to me? Okay, well look.
Like
Trinity.
Let me quiet.
they re like they was in Everyday Atheists live and he was trying to defend slavery in the Bible. I swear he was. I'm like, bro, you can't do that.
You can never defend
You can't defend
slavery.
it. No, he was defending it in the book. Said it had a different meaning.
Nah, nah, man. Slavery is slavery. If someone is giving you a blueprint on how to slave somebody, that's their blueprint. The point is slavery is wrong. It doesn't matter how
Yeah,
you did it. We did it like that, and we did it like this. The Arabs didn't disagree with the way the European was doing slavery. The Persians didn't agree with the Babylonians. That don't mean it's all wrong though. No matter how you do it,
right.
you can't.
Yeah.
You own somebody. They're your
Yeah, you
property,
own
and
somebody.
then they have to obey
I
you
don't know.
because of force. That's
Hey.
ridiculous.
Okay.
I mean,
Sorry.
he He sat up with me and Mo, and he was basically saying a whole bunch of stuff. And then when we debunked him on it, he'd go to someone else's live, and he would say part of the truth. Okay, come here. Arms up, because you're putting it on wrong.
That's how they do us. In the same day, within the same 24 hours, they'd be sitting here talking to us and wake up and be like,
Put your arms
about to
in.
go teach some
Put your arms
truth.
in.
Where'd you get that from?
Put your arms in here.
They'd be like, oh, I'm going to check that out.
All right.
When you check it out, come back and let me know you was wrong.
Yeah.
Don't go start teaching that shit.
That's is what I don't think they go check out the information. I think he just heard me say that and didn't go check out the information. And that's what I actually think.
The sun's a Lucifer, Saturn inside the moon is a magnet at the end of the earth.
Right,
Holy damn, boy, you over here doing it. He says sun is Lucifer, Saturn is Satan, moon. It's a magnet of the
Just
end
when
of
he
the
was talking,
earth.
when he was talking to everyday atheists, he didn't say the name. He didn't say Mashula.
The one who was the one from Egypt.
Yeah, I got an echo. That's yeah, the Jew.
Now was he the slave or was he the one doing the slaving?
I think he was the one doing the enslavement.
Say that again. You breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah, I said I think he was the one doing the enslavement.
Oh, okay. Is it true? Khadijah was Catholic? Possibly. It's definitely possible because remember those people were praying together. The Christians, the Catholics, and all of them, they were together at one point in time.
Yep.
So that's
They lived in a
definitely
whole,
possible.
but they ain't ready for that, Mo. You're gonna have to do a whole lot on that.
Yep. They wasn't getting it in like they getting it in today. They was side by
Yeah.
side praying.
Marrying each other, converting to each other. And that's from the top, one of the top Islamic scholars that's saying it. And ain't like he's just a YouTuber.
Right. He ain't a big YouTuber.
See, like, that's the difference between certain people's scholarship. I'm not knocking no one who's going to YouTube to get their information because I get some of my information off YouTube, but then I have to go cite the source that the YouTuber is getting his information from, or she's getting her information from. I can't take. It's just like when I did the 80-20. You're gonna take 80% of what this person is saying is true, and only 20% of it is actually true. But when you presenting it to us, you may, 80% of what this man is saying is all facts because it's in the YouTube video, and majority of the stuff that's in the YouTube video has already been debunked by scholarly peer review.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when people come at you with like, oh yeah, you know what? They found the Exodus. They found chariots in the Red Sea. And then you go and you look it up, and the stuff that they found was coming from fairy tale or a dude that made it up. And then the other stuff that they found ain't even going back to the timeline. It's going back to this guy's timeline.
Right.
I cannot. And you know why I put this as my backdrop? I wanted to deal with lost knowledge because he said the snake was over here eating his baby that Nefertiti is holding. Like, bro, you just made that up.
Man, that's wild. That's a hell of a. That dude had a hell of a overhead projector. He
Yeah,
was
I mean,
drawing on it. He was.
yeah, he was hella, but I think that was like he could erase it, but still, like the DNA is coming up with the snake, and the snake is eating the kid. Like, bro, where you get this from? No scholar would take you serious at all. They gonna be like, dude,
Right. We could say
you
there's
freaked out.
snakes. We could say there's snakes coming out the sun. You can get your overhead projector, get your little clear piece of plastic, and put it over there, and then draw snakes coming out the sun right there. That sun disk right there. You can say all of those are
They've
snakes,
done, bro,
and the
they've
snakes
done
wrote the
that
hieroglyph.
before. I saw a YouTube where the dude was saying that the sun rays coming down that's shining on the shin because it hits the shin and then it starts hitting them in their third eye. He said those were the snakes coming from Saturn. That's not the actual sun, that's Saturn. And the snakes is
That's tough. That's
ah
That's not Saturn up there?
nah, that's the sun.
no man.
Oh, I thought it was Saturn. Just playing.
Nah.
Hey, Katie. Oh my god.
Yeah, yes, the snake is divine. If you go to any ancient culture besides the Romans and the Greeks, they all have some type of snake, and the snake is like wisdom or knowledge or into that capacity.
Thank you, Katie.
So when
That's
when
facts.
Eve ate when Eve ate the fruit that the snake was telling her to eat, he was basically waking her up to knowledge or consciousness.
Um,
Because it's like I tell everybody when you read the book, God wanted Adam and Eve to be submissive. He didn't want them
mhm.
to know anything. He wanted them to just be mindless idiots worshiping him. And then here comes the snake who
Right. And you
and
got to put
this
it
is
in.
just my first go ahead.
You got to put it in its perspective too. When you look at it, when they ate of this fruit, and she's seen it was good for wisdom and everything. We know what wisdom is. Why are we even putting negative aspects on something that's supposed to be positive, right? So when they get this, they don't start picking up guns and shooting people and building atom bombs and clubs and gambling casinos and all that. That's not what happened. they they were aware. The only proof you have is that they were aware of something. So you can easily connect that to being conscious. You like that's consciousness. You're aware of something. How did you know you were naked? Somebody was mad that they were aware, not that they started committing sins. They didn't do anything. They just were aware of something. How you know you naked? You ain't
Man
supposed to
has
know you
become like
naked.
us. What do you mean us? Who's us? What the hell was that? How did I say that?
Yeah, who who them folks?
They're like,
Come like us
what is
today.
it?
Now they saying it's the Father, the Son, and the
Man
Holy
has
Spirit
become.
for some reason.
It's like, and they were like, oh well, since Adam and Eve they messed up, and now we're all cursed. Y'all wasn't even supposed to be on the scene. If Adam and Eve would have stayed in the Garden of Eden, and they didn't mess up, there would be no us, according to the story. It had just been them two, because her curse was to get pregnant and borrow pain. That's her
Mm-hmm.
curse. So before the curse, she wasn't ever gonna get pregnant. It was just gonna be them two in the land. It's like you can't make this stuff up.
He said
You
Eve
can't.
and the devil had a kid first. Murder started that. Murder who?
Well, that's
Murder who
that's
started that?
one of the stories
Oh, you mean
that
you? Okay.
he,
I mean, I heard that version
that
before. I heard that.
it's Cain. Cain is supposed to be Satan's son.
So I mean, we can't take God out of that though. We can't say that God is not involved in this situation. You can't just blame it on this snake. Like, because if they were equipped with the knowledge to know what this thing was, if they knew that it was a fallen angel, look at the text. Like, we know now today that this is a fallen angel. They ain't know that. I don't know what that is. He said the beast. He said the serpent was the most subtle of all of the beasts of the field. They don't even know it's an angel. He's talking to Adam, telling him that this is a serpent. That's an angel. You could say it's a shapeshifter, but it's definitely not a snake. And they're being deceived, and they died not even knowing who this dude really was. I don't think that's fair. If anything, if we're gonna say, well, they were sleeping with each other, I think God was sitting there watching. I don't know if he was recording or doing an experiment, but he's watching and he knows that he's doing it.
God was watching
He know they're getting it in.
Yeah. Don't they have to get God's permission before they can do anything?
Right?
Don't they have to
See? That don't only apply in Job. That applies to Genesis too, right?
This is what kills me. If God wiped us out during the flood to get rid of the Nephilim DNA, why is it that you go into another part of the book where it says that these people still survive the flood?
Because
I'm not getting this.
Mm-hmm.
because God said, take two of each kind that are living. That was on the earth. Two of each creepy thing, everything on the earth. He wanted two, a pair, a male and a female. So I guess they had to take a pair of giants.
But yo, how giants
I
gonna
remember
fit
she
on
made
this
that
boat?
point. That was crazy.
Like how is the Giants gonna get on the boat if we do get the Giants on the boat, because they're between 6 and 12 feet, right? What are they eating?
They're eating people.
What a pastor told me one time that he put them in a deep sleep or something like that. He put them in a sleep. They weren't hungry. He put them in a deep sleep or made them. It took away their hunger or something like that. They ain't never give me the verse on it though.
Okay, let's say that's true. If you in a deep sleep, that's just like people that's in a vegetarian state, right? They still defecate.
Mm-hmm.
So if these people are on this boat and they in a deep sleep, where's the poop and pee going?
You got me on that one.
Because if you leave
On
feces on yourself, eventually it's gonna start eating at your butt. Because it's acidic.
It's a fact. Hey, but look, if we take it back to what the older versions of the story are saying, right? You could easily just say that maybe these people, right, whether you believe it or not, maybe the pairs was just them fucking with DNA. Maybe they were taking pairs because they're about to destroy the place, and they're trying to, the ark was probably some place something that they could use to store the genetic sequence of the beings. You know what I'm saying? And then after they got rid of whatever was here,
we just
they
being
set it
nice.
back up.
Yeah, that's it.
Because we both.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make
know
sense of it.
that the Noah story comes from somewhere else, and then they just wrote it into their history, and then somebody read the story and was like, you know what? This is real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! Like that's where pseudepigrapher comes into play.
Big time. Yeah, but most of the New Testament is. That's what be getting me with that.
No,
They
but
like,
they don't know
book is
that stuff.
pseudepigrapher.
They don't
I'm
know
like, why do you
that.
keep saying pseudepigrapher? Bro, I had to look. It was back in 2018 when people were saying it on Facebook. And I was like, I need to go back and look up the definition again because I don't think I'll remember. Maybe I'm not remembering right. And I looked it up. It means that something that is written two centuries or more after. They're not contemporaries with the people who are existing at the time to be writing for them.
It's
So
falsely accredited work. I was like, whoa. The first person I ever heard say that was Shaka Amos. I was like, what the fuck is pseudepigrapher? I had to ask somebody at work. He's like, I don't know. He's like, let's look it up. I looked that shit up and it blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh, holy shit. I think that was 2016. It might have been 2017.
And then when you think about it, when they're saying the fault falsely attributed, they're telling you that they're lying on somebody. So they're not saying it's not like you ever say like if my son knows Sutton, right? He could tell his grandson, and his grandson could say something about Sutton later. But if my my grandson lies about Sutton, that's where it gives you there's complete pseudepigraphy. He's giving a false account because you could tell the truth and it'll be semi pseudo, right? When you falsely attribute something, that makes it even worse. And that's what they say everything is that is not part of the canon, right? That's not part of the canon. Well, how is that in there? This has nothing to do with the Bible. And you reject it on that base, but you accepted something. That means you're showing bias. You accepted something that is young, like the book of, what's the book we be trying to get them to read that they never read, but they say they're going to read? The Gospel of Thomas.
Yeah.
That book is older than all the Gospels. It's older than all of the Gospels they got, but they
Bro,
rejected it,
I'm trying
calling
to
it
get these.
pseudepigraphy.
I met with like three scholars on this book, the James. They keep talking about it, and I ain't. And like you said, where's it at? But they keep quoting it. So if y'all got this book, y'all need to release this book to the public so we can get our hands on it.
Bro, when you get that book of James, it's going to expose Paul. That's my theory on it. The book of, I think that, but what's in the book of James, I think that's going to expose who Paul really is, and that's going to fuck up the whole Christianity. Because
That's
they
probably
said
why
that's why they not revealing. They said
only
this is
the
going to
scholars
change the
got
world.
their hands on this shit. We ain't got it.
I'm trying to get my hands on that motherfucker for real.
Because I done heard four of them talk about this shit.
Because I tell you this, look, James ain't get killed for nothing. He wasn't just killed off of believing, because a whole bunch of other people would have got killed. James got killed, and Paul had something to do with it. Paul is involved in this. This is not a coincidence, people. Not a coincidence. And then we can't read James' word. Like, yo, if you want anybody's writing, it would be the brother of Jesus. If any book can make it into the Bible, it would be Jesus' brother. Not the one who killed him. What the fuck is going on? The brother's killer. His texts get put into the Bible. I wish somebody would.
That shit is insane, man. It is insane. But yeah, I was thinking that I was gonna do my notes on that. We not African, but I don't want to hurt people's feelings. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold off on doing that shit. But I hella was gonna do that
Yeah.
shit tomorrow. I was like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wait. Cause I wanna do that Southern Victus shit.
Oh,
I've been sitting on that
yo,
shit.
the artwork you sent me on that shit, that is fucking mind-boggling. The date, you look at it, you like, okay, yeah, disciples, okay, that's Jesus in the middle, mother, and the
But did you
virgin, they
see?
got the
Do you
crowns
see?
on their
Do you
head.
see how small it
The
is?
date,
It's just to the side.
that is some wild shit.
And the dude, look, the
So
scholar, the
invictus.
number one scholar that's working on it, he said that he thinks that because they try to attribute that image to Jesus. He said that ain't Jesus. He said, and they know it wasn't Jesus. Why is it in the synagogue? You got a pagan symbol just sitting there.
In there hundreds of years before Jesus. That's crazy. It's before Jesus. That's what's mind-boggling. What in the world is happening? See, and this is what I tell people. Either God liked the stories that men were telling so much that he copied them and made us act it out in real life. Or these people are making this shit up. You can't have both. How do you have 12
What up, man?
disciples surrounding a Messiah
Hey,
engraved into the
there's
floor of
lost
these
knowledge.
synagogues?
Hey, lost knowledge. Come on up here, man, so you can show us the snake. Oh, yo, I was tripping when I found that shit out. I was like, huh? He just sitting there chilling. Like, you got hundreds of years. Y'all ain't covered this up. Why would you not? That would have been the first thing. Like, that'd be like, oh, I'm supposed to be I'm the new Mo Fax, and then I see your picture. I'm covering you up. Like, nah, man, get him
Right.
out of here. That's the old Mo Fax. I'm the new Mo Fax. They just left it there.
You know
Locks
what?
and
And you know
all.
what? You know what? I'm thinking, I'm thinking that some of them didn't know. I think they jumped the gun on it. They left and was like they got too excited. It's like, yeah, we got them. We got rid of the text. You know, we ran them off to Babylonia. They run into Egypt. They hiding. We burnt up all of their scripts. We good. I don't think they went and searched everything. They got excited and left because they get you listen. If you're gonna take that story and infuse it into the Judean into Judaism, and you're going to transform their religion and make them more passive aggressive people, you have to cover up the breadcrumbs. Like, you got to get every single crumb that's going to lead back to where this stuff came from. Because remember, the Romans and Greeks are infusing their belief system into the book. So you have to cover it up. And that in that place, this is where you see that everybody wasn't on board with this story when it first came about. Because if you have this 12 disciple depiction, you have this savior in the middle, you have the Virgin Mother and all of that, then and this is hundreds of years before. That means someone has been
Oh,
trying to
guess,
push this and it wasn't working.
guess what?
When they finally got it
Guess
to
who?
work,
Guess who?
it ended up
Guess who
being
was his
Jesus
homie?
and stuff. Who's Soul Invictus?
Yeah, guess who his homie was? Mithra.
On Earth, or you mean one of the gods? Mithra? Yeah, all right. That's what I
Mithra.
was saying. Mithra, Apollo, all of them motherfuckers is
Look,
involved in
look,
that.
they don't call it religion. They say the practice. But when you go into Mithra, what do they call it? A practice, right? So what I'm
Right.
thinking is that these people were practicing these mystery systems, right? And then somewhere it got mixed into some type of worship, and people start calling it a religion.
Right. Because and you know how? This is my theory. Because when you first trying to give it to the people, what are they telling you? The original Jews, they're saying, we don't believe that shit. So now we got to make a stipulation. You have to believe, or you gonna get in trouble. Because that means people were already not believing you. If it was the truth, you would have told the truth and let it reign supreme. But since you got so many disbelievers in it, because they knew where it came from, they're like, no, we ain't doing that. They don't believe you. That's not their
Then
belief
they start.
system. So now they're like, no, you gotta believe this shit.
No, no, my Jewish system is right. Your Jewish system is wrong. Let's go to war, and we're gonna stab it out.
You got somebody waiting.
I've never heard of this where
Roman.
Jews are going to war with other Jews because they don't believe in the same ideology. But I don't understand. Then you had some of the Christians. They were doing some of the same shit.
What's going on, family?
How you
What's
doing?
up?
Peace, peace.
Hey, let me throw something out there. Y'all was talking about the 12 disciples. So I was thinking, you got 12 months in a year plus the sun, which that's one more. That's 13. So now, if you look at the description of the Last Supper, they grouped off into threes, 6 on his left and 6 on his right, and he's in the middle. Okay, so every three months the season change. So if you look at the picture of the Last Supper, they look at every three. So what it's showing you is nature, because something happens every 3 months. Look at that. Think about it.
Yeah, that is the root of what we're trying to tell people. We know it has something to do with the celestial bodies and the cosmos and stuff. They don't. When you tell them this straight up that they're talking about the actual sun, the only thing they're gonna think is that it's witchcraft. So we're using this as a method to lead them back to show them if this Jesus story is real and the disciples are real and him being the son of God is real and it's only happened at one point in history, then how do we have depictions of the same thing hundreds of years before?
Right. Now I'm gonna
That's just a
tell.
walking back slowly.
Have y'all ever looked at Santos Bonacci's work?
I heard him. I don't think I
I'm
got
I
telling
it.
you,
don't
man.
even know who that is.
I think I seen like
Man,
two.
man,
I seen two lectures on his. Yeah, his shit go real deep. He breaks the
let,
pyramids
let
down.
me tell you
Never
something.
have.
He will take you. He will take you back to where it all started. I mean, you know, I mean, even up to the deacons and all astrology, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy, man. And every religion, and every religion started from what he's showing you. Every one of them. He even
They did
show you
all
the
of,
different churches and this. Yeah, he even
yeah.
show you the different churches, their symbols, and how they build the Masonic lodges and how they build the courtrooms and how they, man, I'm telling you, it's all there.
Yeah, all it was nature. Just like when people say the Egyptians had gods and all of that stuff, the original people of that land didn't have no gods. They only had netters. They had nature, nefer. They studied nature and they made different symbolisms to teach people about it. That's all they were doing. Those weren't gods.
Exactly.
Those were expressions of nature.
Exactly. And what they did was they used it to control their people. That's what it's all about, control.
Yeah, they got a book for everybody in the chat. It's called Astrology in the Bible. I think that's the name of it.
And you notice this, everything that's really we supposed to be doing, and in the Bible it tell us to stay away from. I wonder why.
Right. Yeah, because so that you can get things like you can get situations like people were doing last about what they did it like 2 weeks ago with people saying it says this the blood moon and then people will look at these videos and Facebook posts and everything and then these are people who normally just go to work, they get off, they go home, they go in the house, they party a little bit on the weekend or whatever, and then that's it. They're not really looking up in the sky, so they don't notice that there's 2 to 3 blood moons a year, right? But when they finally look up, they go, a blood moon. Oh, shoot, the prophecy real. But this always happens. And it's how Columbus was able to eat when he ran out of food. He knew about the patterns of the cosmos. He knew. So he told them, hey, on this day, this is going to happen. And they was like, we need to give him all of our food, some women and everything, because he just told us the future. He's divine. But they were studying the patterns. So that's why it's important for you not to know about the world you live in. I'm going to scare you away from the knowledge of the environment in which you live so that I can use it against you.
Exactly.
They can make things look like prophecies, and it's not even a prophecy. They're just looking at a calendar. They're looking at a lunar and a solar calendar, and you thinking that they know about these events because God told them.
And check this out. How can the doctor tell the woman when she's gonna have her baby? It's by the moon cycles.
Right. They watch their period by looking at the moon.
Exactly.
They know when it's going to be intense, when it's going to be a light one, all off of the moon. Harvesting.
And even the almanac, tells you when the best time to go fishing, when the time to plant, and it tells you everything.
Yep. When you see that big moon, I used to see the old heads telling me that stuff. I'm like, man, I don't care. I'm out here. I'll be sitting there all night. They'll pack it up. As soon as they see that big moon popping out, they'll be like, oh, no, this ain't the day. They be like, well, hey, young blood, knock yourself out. And I'll be sitting there all night catching nothing. I'm like, how did they know this?
Man, exactly. And look, check this out. And then if you talk to anyone that works in a mental institution, they would tell you around the full moon, that's when everybody acts up.
The lunatics. Lunar
Exactly.
lunatics.
There you go.
The freaks coming out at night.
Man, I mean, it's so simple, man. Once you find all this out, everything start making sense.
And that's what people don't understand. They think we got something against the creator. We don't know who the creator is. We up here trying to challenge men and their false teachings.
And
But
that
they got
TV
people
down
so
phone.
dumbfounded. They got people so duped that when you can't even speak and communicate to your fellow human being and try to tell them like, yo, these people are lying to you. They be like, you're questioning God. I'm not talking to God, I'm talking to you. These people are tricking you
And that's
here
part
out
of
of
it.
your own planet.
Exactly. And like I said, everything was given to us was free, and they done hijacked it and charged us for it. They done just made slaves out of us.
Right? Robbed you of your mind. They just robbed you of your mind. If you're not going to use your mind, then someone else is going to use it. And that's what it is.
And,
You
and,
gave
and
up
don't
your
that,
mind.
ain't that strange to say you shouldn't eat from the tree of knowledge? Isn't that something?
Yup. We was just talking about that earlier. Yup. That is strange. They ain't do nothing. See, and you'll blame yourself in the future, right? You look at the story and then you look around at the world that you live in and you go, oh, that's where all this came from. But you don't put yourself in the shoes of your alleged ancestors, right? Stand there with Eve, stand there with Adam. What did they do after they ate that fruit? They saw that they were naked. That's what happened. You
So
don't use the world you live in today to see what happened back then. They just were aware of themselves. They had consciousness at
exactly,
that point. But then they got in trouble. So that
exactly,
means that something did not want you to know about yourself. But that's the same thing you pray to. You pray to
exactly.
the thing
And
that
then
doesn't want you to know anything.
when you talk about the Tower of Babel, look what it said. It said it says that the people were one, they were unified, and there's nothing they would not be able to do because they are one. It said, "Let us go down and what confuse them."
Fuse their
So
languages.
confuse their language. So that brings divisions. And
Correct.
what they do today, and what they do today, they keep us apart.
Divide and conquer.
Exactly.
Turn this person against that person. Make this belief against that belief. Let the gods fight by themselves. That's my motto. Like
Exactly.
let the gods fight their own battles. We don't have no disagreement as humans. We don't even really know
Yeah.
each other. We never get to know somebody. I done seen it happen a million times with somebody. We just be talking and they'll jump in the live. I'll add them in, and they may have had an argument last week or something on some other live, and they like, "Hey man, I'm here to join. I'm the dude you was arguing with
Hey, they
yesterday."
got
And
a
they're like,
book.
"Oh
The
man, it's
book is
all
called
good."
God Against the Gods. I think they be fighting in there too.
Say that again.
What's that one movie with Jet Li? The one where he go around to all these other the worlds and dimensions
Oh
and he
yeah,
kill
yeah,
everybody.
the one.
And I think it's like Highlander and shit.
And
Yeah,
check
that's
this
one of
out,
my
which I
favorite
said.
movies.
Check this out. What I said earlier. I was on a live earlier. When a woman get ready to have a baby, what happens? Her water break, and then comes the blood in the baby or whatever. And when Jesus supposedly been hanging on the cross, what happened? They pierced him in the side, and what came out? Water and blood. Man, I'm telling you. And then
Yeah,
and then I
they
said
saw that.
this. What's that,
What's
brother?
wrong, Zuko? Yeah, I was gonna say they took that from Josephus.
Yeah, and then the thing about it, like I said, if you look at a diagram of a woman's reproductive system, it's shaped like a cross. And then what they say, Jesus said, the only way you can get to the Father is by me, and you need to be born again. But the only way you can be born again, you have to come through a woman.
Facts. Ain't no way
I mean,
around that. And what's
no,
another way to further confuse somebody and hide the truth? To put the woman down. Take out all the
exactly.
female depictions of God. Take out all of the female prophetess. Take out all the female priests, all the female angels, and make it look like it's all men. Oh, that was his phone.
Oh, he draws? Oh, he probably at work.
His phone was yeah. his phone's ringing. But yeah, sadly, that's what we got to do. I'm glad there's people that do get it, that catch on to it quick. But some people just can't catch on to it. So we can't even have these type of conversations. So we got to walk them back slowly and show them the timeline don't
Bro,
make sense. Show
I
them
don't
other people
think
were talking
that
about
they
this
ready.
thousands of years before.
That's my like, cause I like, what is it like, Sunday, Saturday? I was ready to say fuck it. No matter how much information we put on here, people gonna keep coming with the same stuff. They gonna keep coming, jumping in our lives with the same stuff. And we bring new information every week. You're bringing new information. I'm bringing new information. But Kenya, one of us is bringing some type of new information, and they hop on our lives and they say the same talking point. Oh, there was an Exodus. Jesus existed. Abraham existed. Eve wasn't the first person. It was Adam. They come with the same stuff, and we keep giving them new information. Lorenzo, that boy. We give them all this great
He said, let's get
information.
back to it. We never left. Um,
They don't.
Mr.
But
Lost
they
Knowledge.
don't. They
We
don't.
stay on it.
They don't look at our information. They don't. Just, oh, I'll go look at it, and then they don't go look at it at
Yeah, they're
all.
going to shit on themselves. All you got to do,
No,
I tell them, go ahead and look.
that
I
was
know you scared to look it
Batavion that
up.
took my
Look it up
cover.
while you on the toilet.
It wasn't Lorenzo. Yeah, my jelly gone. They knocked that off
food,
last week.
food, food wars. They're going to war over that food. She did it. Blame it on the baby. The baby did it.
Hey Mac, you might be right. I see a lot of that because when Everyday Atheists go live, J Rob always go on his live, and Everyday Atheist catches him up in so much shit. What up? Huh? Good mood. How come y'all ain't come across me more early? Don't turn the TV all the way up. Batavion. Batavion. Batavion.
Hey, look, Sabrina. Sabrina, listen. They didn't attack the witches for nothing. And they weren't even called witches. Whoever those women were, them oracles and the sibyls and all that, they ain't attack them for no reason. Because they was taking their works. If it was so bad, why did they keep it and store all of their scrolls?
Eve could have been an oracle. I'm just throwing it out. You about to be why?
I wouldn't doubt it. You don't kill someone that's not a threat. I'll tell you that one. You let them live.
So that's because you got one more week left of school.
Those people were threats. Those women weren't even walking around killing nobody. They was just telling the future. That was fucking them up. Like what? Then they thought they could go in the caves and do the same thing.
Who is this?
It didn't work.
They're freaky.
Freaky boy.
What's good?
If you don't change your name,
brother.
I'm gonna change it after this. I'm gonna change it after this.
you say that every time you go live, you're gonna change. You never do.
No, I'm for real, cause people know me by freak, but they can learn something else.
Nah, you the young
You gotta put
phenom.
prodigy in there somewhere. Yeah, phenom or prodigy, something. You gotta put something in there. Like, you gotta stamp that.
I've been studying.
Damn, Susan, you warped out.
Oh shit! I don't know what happened. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you. You use the
I can hear
like
you.
the warp. Yeah, you just use the warp time effect.
I don't know. Okay, let me.
He probably did that by accident.
If I can fix it.
There you go.
All right.
What y'all ain't talking about?
How people keep stealing information and not giving people credit. J Rob over there robbing the master teacher and shit. He gonna disagree with him and then go into somebody else's live
You probably
and use
wasn't
their
there
information.
Everyday Atheist, but he said that shit. he was like, they was like, oh, you are you trying to prove the Exodus and the slaves in Egypt? He was like, oh well, the slaves in Egypt, they were the Jews enslaved their own selves. I'm like, bro, like you heard me and Mo talking to you about that like 2 weeks ago, and now you bringing it up, but you kept denying it. He kept denying it with us.
That's tough, man. You can't have selective scholarship like that. That don't work that way. Oh man, and
He
that's the
had
only proof.
he
And you
had
was
to
saying it to
heard us
be
say it
nice.
and
Like
look
I'm gonna
that
give you.
shit up.
Look, you was being nice, saying I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a source that shows you something close to what you're saying. This is all they found, and he takes that and tries to use it. It still don't help your story out. You got to find the evidence as to what you're saying, because you saying that the people of that land did something for hundreds of years to another people. You can't really just cover that up like that. There'll be a lot of proof, a lot of evidence, archaeological evidence left behind for that.
Oh well,
But
not
what you do,
necessarily.
why not?
If you're expecting to find severe amount, uh, severe archaeological
You
amounts
breaking
of
up,
like,
bro.
I guess, if y'all expect to find severe amounts of archaeological evidence positing a certain group in this land, I think we would have to be oblivious to the time changes, the amount of erosion and the weathering in that area. That's just if you're looking for
Okay,
archaeological positive, as
but
well as
here's the issue.
so
That is closer. That event that people are claiming happened is towards the end. It's towards the end of Kemet's their peak of rulership. They're declining at that point, and it's closer to us. It's closer to our time. We are finding things that are thousands of years older than that event. That is a major event that took place
well,
for a
yeah,
long period
that
of
would
time.
be
So why look, you got to be a skeptic. Not you, but I'm a skeptic because this doesn't make sense to me. Why would that part disappear? Just that part disappeared from the weathering and all of the erosion and wear and tear.
well. I can't necessarily say just that part. How many tombs have we found for how many tombs have we found for the previous dynasties? Because this is right after the Hyksos occupy the lower part of which we all know, which is the upper part closer to the Mediterranean. And
You
so
talking about the?
this is
Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, this would be right after the Egyptians reconquer will get their throne back. So this would be during the 19th dynasty. Well, this is when the Egyptians get their throne back. So dude,
Okay.
have we
Yeah.
found
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
archaeological?
You have over 105, and maybe more. Yeah, and it is more because 105 will be from 2017, 2016 when the last time I counted. So we're at over let's just say over 100. Over 100 tombs are found, and these tombs specifically are dating back to 4000 BC and before. That's crazy.
That's a tomb. That's a
But
tomb.
you
The tomb
asked. I
would be
mean, you asked about
yeah,
the tomb, so I told you about the
true,
tomb.
yeah, true, yeah. The tomb would be preserved in a I think like in a sarcophagus, or I can't remember the exact word. Forgive me. In a sarcophagus, under immense amounts of sediments and stuff like that. So
That's all we.
so are you asking for um like evidence that the people were in the land besides
We
inscriptions
don't
and
even
stuff
need
like that?
evidence that was in the land. Like, find a Jewish tomb in Egypt, a
What do you
Jewish
mean a
grave
Jewish?
site in Egypt where they were in bondage.
Well, what do you
Yeah,
mean a
they still had
Jewish
to
grave?
bury
Like,
people. They still had to
no, I
bury
don't.
people.
Well, I don't think there would be a Jewish grave site.
Yeah, it
Like
would
Jews.
because if you read the Elephantine Papyri, right? The people had their own customs. Everybody wasn't burying people the same way.
Well, see,
The people who
that would
foreigners that were there were allowed to practice their own customs.
true, but that would be disanalogous with the events that happened after in Deuteronomy and in Exodus, when these individuals erect the Ark of the Covenant that is exactly similar to something that would be found in Egypt. I mean, if I mean it
Because
wouldn't make sense.
if
It
we
wouldn't make
going off
sense
the Ark of the Covenant, let's keep it real. We doing the Bible. The Ark of the Covenant was stolen out of Egypt.
exactly. So it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense for them to copy a custom. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for
But
them to do a custom.
even okay. Let's say that they were in there. They were allowed to do whatever they wanted to do when it came to them practicing their own traditions. At some point, an archaeologist would have found this massive grave site.
A gravesite of what?
The Jewish people.
Well, you mean the Israelites? Because I don't know if
Yeah,
Jews were a thing that in that time.
the Israelites.
Okay.
Something, brother. Something. The
Well,
issue
have
here
you
is
guys
that there is nothing. There's
well
nothing. You gotta have
well
something. I can deal with erosion and even theft,
well
but
we'd be
you can't
arguing
get
from
everything.
we'd
Something
be
gotta be
arguing
there.
yeah, we would be arguing from omission from that perspective. We would be arguing from omission. If we can't find Israel in Egypt, why don't we try to find Egypt in Israel?
We have. I mean, we have been talking about this since we got on TikTok Live.
That's the
Right,
type
but
of type of
but that
methodology.
wouldn't prove anything because no one's denying that people went there. They fought together. They fought wars together. Judah fought side by side with Taharka. So that's not the problem. The problem is people are saying that these people were done wrong. When we look at history, they are interacting. They're fighting wars together, defeating enemies. Taharka, I think Taharka died for Judah. He died for their freedom. That was one of the reasons he got killed because he was fighting multiple people
Well, what
and
year is
helping them
this?
out really
He
stuck the
was
foot in his
fighting
ass.
the Assyrians. He was fighting the Assyrians for the people of Israel.
What year is this?
What is this? 8? Let me see. Let me make sure.
Okay, so that puts us at least 500 years after this supposed
Wait, say that again. You breaking up?
that would put us 500 years after this supposed Exodus event. That's too late. That's too much separation. If we're going from aiding, if it's aiding
No,
in
700
the
BC.
Hawkers, Hezekiah. Yeah, the Hawkers around Hezekiah.
Yeah, so that's about 6 to 700, 620. So I was close. 8.
so
I'm
what
getting
are
there.
y'all? So what? I'm assuming you guys deny the Exodus tradition.
No, I don't deny the Exodus. There's there's multiple times people made a mass exit, right? You can
Okay.
even use Akhenaten, right? He had to get the fuck up out of there. You can use
Okay.
the Hyksos, the people who were on the side of the Hyksos, they had to get up out of there, and they had internal wars with each other where they kicked people out. This happened a lot, but
Yeah.
these are specific people that are being enslaved there for hundreds of years, and they're
Okay.
leaving in mass numbers. And then there's these events that are taking place that will be seen from the other side of the sea. So we're not just looking for evidence in Egypt or evidence in Canaan or evidence in Israel. We're looking for evidence from the people who are looking at this shit happen. These people would
Well,
be scattering, and they're scattering around, and you're looking at the water part, and you seeing the Pharaoh drown and his army going into war. Someone else should be writing about it as well. There should be stories
well,
passed down about this. Instead, we only find it with the people who are benefiting from it, from looking like
well.
victims.
How many? Well, so I don't know if anyone's benefiting, but how many? Do you guys know of any nomadic? Do you guys know of any nomadic tribes that settled on the other side of the river that separated? That separated. the Egyptian capital from Avaris? Because the Sinai is a
Look,
wide
this
area.
this
Now I
what I'm
know
talking
that.
about when you because Avaris was nothing but marsh. It was like a wetland. No one was living there.
Well, that's not
The
true.
only
There's
people who lived
archaeological.
there was the Jews, or what you
Well,
call the
that's not.
Israelites.
Well, I mean, that's not necessarily true. I have some books positing actual individuals at that area. They actually have temples there as well. Now, supposedly,
What
the
what's the
supposedly
what's the time period?
the time during the Exodus. So
That's what
so
I'm
so
saying.
here's
After
so here's
after after the
No.
so-called Exodus, nothing before, right?
yeah, it would be. I think it would be stuff before, but but
In Avaris,
part of,
you have people living in Avaris before the Exodus
yes,
that was building
yes,
temples, and they
not
weren't
the.
Egyptian.
I don't believe it was
I gotta
the
get this.
outer
I
area.
gotta get this source. I gotta
I
get
have
this
the
book you read.
have the
Shit.
book. It's called. I have this book. It's called Avaris, the capital. Avaris, the capital of Hyksos. The capital of the Hyksos, I believe. Oh, I
Oh man, you talking about
I have the
yeah,
book,
that
but
area. Okay, but that's not that's not that. Listen, the Hyksos did have their own little area.
and
They
yes,
were
but
they definitely were right there. But hold, what does this have to do with the Hebrew
what I'm
Israelites
what I'm trying to say
being
is the
enslaved and then exiting
He's
Israelites.
Egypt?
trying. He's trying to
It's
tie the Hyksos to
after
the Hebrew
no,
Israelites.
I'm not trying to tie them to the Israelites, but after, according to this book that I have, and it's not just one of those layman scholar books that has no credentials or any any historical or archaeological evidence to substantiate anything that it says. According to the book,
Why
after
not be like?
the Israelite individuals were expelled out of the land around this Exodus area, they dwelled they dwelled in the lower parts of this area. Now, the upper parts of this area and the temple parts of this region were occupied for a certain period of time, but the parts where the Israelites dwelled were the lower areas and the areas that surrounded it, the town areas, not the temple region.
Yeah, I don't think there's an issue with that. The issue is with those nearly a million people leaving that area. And they're all supposed to be Hebrews, and that's just the
Mixed
males.
smoke.
Actually, that's just that's just the males. Remember that the Torah says that it was nearly a million males. We're not dealing with the elderly and the kids and the women. That's crazy, bro. That's that's well over a million people. You can't hide that. How are you hiding that?
I don't think they can hide it, but I saw in this video that there was a no that I mean these aren't Israelites, but there was a nomadic group of people who dwelled in the region of the Sinai. It was a tribe, and they've
Yeah,
showed us
you,
archaeological
you talking
deposits
about the people from Asia, right?
Possibly. I no, they're kind of like
The,
they look more like who can I say they look like? They're nomadic and they look more like who did you say? You said people from Asia?
Yeah.
That could be them,
I'm
but
not
they're
talking. I'm
struggling.
not talking about what the Asians look like now.
Yeah. No, it's around the same area. It's in the Sinai. It's in the upper parts, closer to the Levantine area. I think when you start getting closer to the region of Canaan. But they're struggling to
So
find
you talking about the
archaeological.
Phoenicians?
No, no, they're struggling to find archaeological deposits of these individuals as well.
So the
so
land is
what?
by Canaan, and it's not the Phoenicians or the Asians. Who would it be?
No, I can't remember the exact name of them because I didn't even know how to pronounce it when I saw it. I would have to. I didn't even, bro. When I moved, because I don't know if y'all know, but I moved to Seattle. I forgot my freaking computer
What?
charger. I forgot my freaking computer
Bro,
charger.
no one knew you was moving. What the fuck happened? You just said
I
fuck
moved.
Chicago?
I No, I moved and I forgot my computer charger. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there.
No, we need
What
to
I was
know, man, because you say, hey, I don't know if you guys know, but I just moved. Like we ain't seen you pop up on the lawn for like a couple of days,
because I've been
and you just oh,
I've been
I'm in
studying. I've
Seattle
been
now, man.
studying.
I'm chilling, you know.
I've been trying to study. I don't like getting up on here and not having nothing to be able to talk about.
He just
You right.
left,
You right.
like, yeah, bye, Chicago, I'm done. The drill scene's over for me. I got a new life.
Not the drill scene.
Look, hey, look, bro. What? Okay, so if this is true, right, that this still happened,
Okay.
and they erased them. We talking about statues, the cartouches. They scraping and cutting and covering it up. They're I don't know what they doing with this granite and uh, other limestone and stuff that they use. Like they're bashing it up, lasering it down to the dust and hiding it. Like what are they doing with all of this stuff? This is a lot of these are a lot of people, bro. And there's no bodies. There's no records. Remember, they're buying these people. They didn't just go give me 500,000 Hebrews. That's not what they're buying them over time. And they're keeping records.
Well,
The Egyptians were one of the best record keepers of all time. And they just went to their records and
well,
said, we cannot have any proof that we bought Hebrews. Because what? What's going to happen if you got proof
well,
that you bought the Hebrews? These people would have to be like aliens from another planet. Like the Hebrews have to be like as chosen as the Hebrew Israelites today are speaking. They must be really important that somebody would sit there and erase all of their history. And they couldn't even do that with
well,
Akhenaten and Tutankhamun. They couldn't
well.
do that. They tried to erase them from the record, and we still found them. And they're older than the Moses
That's
story.
step two. They tried to knock her off,
No, they're
and we still know
older than the
about her.
Moses story.
Facts.
Akhenaten would be at the end of 20. Akhenaten would be at the end of the 20th dynasty. That's not what the Hicks the supposed Israelite excavation would be during the Ramside period, and majority of scholars have regarded it as it would have been during
Okay,
Ramses the
when you say
second.
when you say
But
Ramsey period, what Ramses you
I
talking
heard.
about?
Ramses the second. But so according to the biblical
That's
narrative,
before the Exodus, right?
Ramses the second.
no, the Ramside no.
I thought Ramses the third was the one that so called was around
Yeah.
Moses' time.
They say it was
No,
Ramses
Ramses
the
Ramses the third is after. He's after like
Oh,
1100, 1200 BCE, right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's funny that we talking about that, right? There, if you look at that El Marna tablets, right? Armana or Amarna, I think it's
yeah,
Amarna.
from
I'll look it up in a second.
Tell El Marna. Yeah,
hmm
Yeah, you see them. The records match. It matched the records in Egypt. Matched their records. They're going to Canaan. Ramses the third is going into Canaan, where they ran at, and there's no smoke with those people. They
because
just drowned their pharaoh. There's no smoke.
that's
well, I freak. This is what I told people. I told people this last week and like a couple of weeks before that.
hmm
If this happened, if
hmm
the Red Sea, if it drowned the Pharaoh, the occupation of where the Egyptians was on the other side of the what they call the Sinai Peninsula or whatever they want to pronounce it. On the other side of the Red Sea, they had patrols. Not only did you have patrols, you had the Magi. The Magi was on the other part of this so-called sea, right? And they were stationed. So they would have seen this. They had watchtowers up. So they would have saw something happening and then they would have went down to see what was going on and they would have met these people. And then they would have got to talking to them because around that time they would all be speaking some of the same languages. Because in Africa, you have a lot of tribes that speak more than one language. So they was eventually they would have came to the conclusion these people just put our leader on the suit 50 on a t-shirt. So they would have eradicated all them Hebrew Israelites and there wouldn't be no Bible to this day. we wouldn't even know about these people. They would have
Mm-hmm.
they would have off them all. You killed the leader and think you about to live 40 years in the desert. These people would have been looking for you. And look, when you go into the they lived 40 years into the desert, they were burning offerings to their God. So the
Correct.
Egyptians and the Egyptians and the Magi, which the Nubians,
Grab probably like 100 to 150 to 200 soldiers. Grab probably like 100 to 150 to 200 soldiers, and they would have just went on this campaign to find these people. They would have tracked them down. That's what would have happened. I don't know, bro. Try to come back. Can y'all come back? I'm gonna wait and see if they pop back up. Freak, try to come back. Matt, can you hear me? I don't know how to do that. It's here. I see it. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, that's how I'm about to try to ban me again. I'm trying to get my other accounts up and running.
Breaking the matrix out this motherfucker.
Yeah, everybody in the chat go to Bro Kufu and follow him. Not Brother Kufu, BRO Kufu. Oh yeah. Y'all just wait till tomorrow night, y'all. Cause I'm coming, I'm coming with the heat. I
Fully loaded. They ain't gonna like this one.
Y'all can hear me. Y'all,
know they not. I know they not, but it gotta be done.
y'all
If I
can
Yo,
hear
don't
and
me.
y'all
if I
better
don't do it,
listen. Y'all better come with notebooks. You better come with notebooks. Get your son or your daughter's tablet. I'm telling you, because it's gonna peel your wig back. It's gonna peel your shit back. You gonna
What
be
y'all
like,
talking?
what?
What y'all talking about?
You gonna see tomorrow. you gonna,
What
yeah.
y'all talking about?
you gonna see tomorrow.
Is this somebody?
Mañana.
Is this
If I don't
sit on the
if I don't
house?
do it tomorrow night, I'm gonna do it Thursday night.
Is this somebody to sit
But
on the
I think
sidelines?
I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow night because I don't have to work Thursday and Friday.
Is this somebody to sit on the
All I gotta
sidelines
all I
for?
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
do
Do it
is I gotta
Thursday.
take my son to the
Do it
dentist Thursday.
Do it Thursday night. That's better. Do it Thursday night. Because I
All
want you to be
right.
well rested, well rested, so that your temperature don't go up too high. Just keep sticking the sources to them.
Is this somebody to sit on the
Bro, and I'm
sidelines
getting
for?
I'm getting it I'm getting it from the number one scholar and he studies this. He's studying it. Matter of fact,
Can
he
you
got
at
a
least
book on the
what,
subject.
can you at least tell me what you Can you at least
No,
tell me
I
what you looking
can't,
up?
bro. I
No,
can't.
no, we building up the suspense, boy. We got to build up the suspense for this.
Freak. The reason why I can't tell you is because you study.
All right.
And
All
if
right.
I give you the information, you're gonna beat me to the punch.
All right, all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna sit on the sidelines. I'm gonna watch y'all make someone else life hard.
Now
But ain't no
you be
coming
the
back
best
from
one.
this, bro.
Yeah, ain't nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. What I ain't gonna say that, bro. It's just there's no way you can't explain anything with this. There's no interpretation. There's nothing to do. The shit
Because
shouldn't even exist.
it's still there. And it's still there. They're not even hiding it. It's like here where I stay in Wichita, Kansas, right? If you drive down what street is that? Damn, it's Central. If you drive up Central, right? You go past Hillside on your way to was that Oliver, right? We got a McDonald, Ronald McDonald. We got
Mm-hmm.
it's an image of him. Sometimes he's standing up waving, and then sometimes they got another one where he's sitting on the bench in somebody's yard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been there since I was a kid. It's kind of like that. It never moved. It's still there. So there ain't no getting around it. You can't get around it. You're not gonna be able to get around it.
Is it something Bible related?
Yep.
So, the entire New Testament. The entire New Testament, bro. Yeah, yep. Because Acts gonna go in there. All that gotta go. It can't. It's not possible
New
that they both
Testament,
can
my
exist.
favorite. I'm gonna sit on
Two
the
things
sideline
can't.
because the New Testament my favorite. So
What they say in science, two things can't inhabit the same space. Right? Only one thing happened. You can't have both.
Get your
well,
study up on Mithra. That's all I can tell you, freak. Get your
you
study up
taking
on
my
Mithra.
study up on who? On Mithra?
Mithra.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been
He's
doing
like,
wait
damn,
Mithra or
Sudan.
the
He gonna
Mithra
I'm
or
a
the
add him as a guest, and he gonna be like, just stop the live.
Please.
Mithra or the cult of Mithras?
Pick one. Oh
I
shit, the
mean, you said
universe. Hey, thank
if
you for Child of the Sun. I never seen that before. That shit was
it's
hot.
regarding the if it's regarding the New Testament, then it'll have to be the cult of Mithras.
Oh, we
Bro,
aliens now. We in the galaxy.
look into them all.
Okay. Yes,
It's
sir. I
like,
sure will.
you know how you hide money in your sock, right? And then months
Yeah.
later, you grab the sock. You be like, hey, man, you clean your room and you find the sock. Like, shit, I'm about to throw this sock in the laundry. Then you hear something crinkle in it. So you put your hand in the sock. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, a 20?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. Like, that's how shocked you going to be. Like, what the fuck? Mo already know. Because I talked to Mo about this shit. Matter of fact, if you guys were paying attention, I told, whose live was we on, Mo? And I told you to look it up. Was that Everyday Atheist Live? Child of the Sun. See, he
Nah,
killing me.
you told me on the phone.
Nah, was we on the phone?
Yeah.
I
You
thought we
said
was on
it's first.
somebody.
You text me.
No, 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 no,
You
no,
said
no. We was
it's over.
we no. This is after that.
What the fuck?
We were live, and you said you looking it up right now.
Wait, what you talking about? Wait, okay. I thought you was talking about what we about to present on Thursday.
Bro, y'all gonna have to
Yeah,
stop
you said
speaking
you
in
was
code.
looking it up right now.
Bro,
I
y'all
think
gotta
we
stop
was on
speaking in
somebody. It was
code.
me, you, and it might have been Kenya. We was on somebody's live either yesterday or the day before that.
Bro, this text message is from like over a week ago.
Bro, y'all gotta
No,
stop
I'm
speaking.
talking about this. I'm talking about me and you were on live and you looked this shit up.
I think you.
I'm not talking about. I ain't
Yeah,
talking
what
about
you?
the text message.
Give me a hint to what you talking about. Give me a hint so I can see if I'm talking about the same piece of
You looked up
information.
an image and you was like, "Yeah, I'm looking at him." I'm trying to think who's fucking live that was. It might
Yeah,
have been
yeah,
Buck
yeah.
live.
No, but you told this the thing. Okay, now I know what you're saying. You told me about it already, but the image
Yeah,
when you found the image later, we still already knew
yeah,
about it though. We just didn't know that they
yeah,
had that shit where they had it at.
bro. As a matter of fact, this is what the dude. This is what the number one scholar said. He said they have it in multiple places. It's not just in one location. Hey, get this shit right. I'm gonna spill the tea just a little bit. He had his own temple in Rome. They just destroyed it.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely talking about the Mithraean cult now.
Yeah. And see, we didn't know that there was traces of it in other places. We thought it
Bro,
was like some secret cult.
Kufu.
It's all over the
Hold on.
place.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Mo. Kufu.
You
We
good? You good?
talked about this, bro. We talked about this. I told you they have
No, no, no,
Mithraeans.
no, no, no. See, this is freak. This
No,
what you think we talking about.
this shit is
You
not
think
what,
we
bro. Listen, this is crazy. This shit is. You can't escape this. Like you can play with Mithra and go, it was a cult, and it was in 300 BC. 300 AD, and all this. So you can play around, in the first century and second, third, or which one came from. This one you cannot mess with, and there's shit to back it up in stone. Like you can't get around it.
Well,
There's no way around it.
if you guys think that there's no archaeological deposition substantiating stuff in the New Testament, then you'd be sadly mistaken. I've been studying on it, so I mean, if you if you think that the
the,
lacking in archaeological
the
evidence,
new
then
when you say the New Testament, what the time frame you talking about?
I hate saying this, from 0 to 100.
So you talking AD?
Sure.
Yeah, bro. We talking we going BC to AD.
Okay, well, Yeshua wasn't born in BC. So if we're talking about the Mithraic cult, then of course.
See,
I know,
So now
that
he wasn't born
listen,
in
freak,
BC.
bro.
freak, listen. You think we're talking about Mithra, right? Because I
All right.
told you to study Mithra. We're not talking about Mithra at all.
So then, why would you tell me to study Mithra?
Because it leads you back to it.
And look, that's
That's the
what I'm trying to tell
doorknob.
you, bro.
Mithra is
I
the
gotta give you
doorknob.
crumbs.
Okay.
I gotta give
Okay.
you crumbs because you're intelligent. And if I tell you it, then you're gonna know what I'm talking about. And then you're gonna
Okay.
beat me to the punch.
When
Okay.
you
Okay.
Mithra is the doorknob, right? When you turn that doorknob, you gonna open up that door. You gonna see
And
some shit
they was
that
doing
ain't supposed to
they
be
was
there.
doing drills together and shit.
Oh,
I've never seen no shit like that. We got
y'all
two
talking,
figures.
y'all talking about Zoroastrianism?
Nah. You know what? I don't think shit, it might. Hell,
It's
I
it's
have to look into that.
it's
I don't know if
connected,
this
but it
goes
ain't
that
gonna.
far back.
It's they're connected. They're connected, but that doesn't. That's not what's gonna pierce your soul. That's not what's gonna shake you. You gonna find connections between, like, people find like Heru and the
But
depictions of him coming back
I'm
to
at
life, his
this,
ministry.
this my boy Mac is in here. Y'all better be lucky that I don't have access to a laptop. Because if I hit y'all with this, oh my
I told you to tell me when to drop it off or come get it.
nigga, I'll be forgetting.
It's sitting right in my back seat. Matter of fact, I'm about to. If you think
How
I'm
the
bullshit,
hell is that?
I'm about to go show you. It's sitting right in my car with the when I picked up the wood to fix my fence and shit when the dogs was acting stupid. But then, oh, you had to go to the doctors. That's what I forgot. To do.
I gotta go to the doctor. I gotta take my son to the dentist Thursday afternoon.
Sit.
All right, come on, y'all. Let's give these people a show. Let's give these people a show. Y'all know every time we come together, a show happens.
Get it popping. What you want to talk
I'm
about?
about to get off in like 7 more minutes, man. Y'all be all right. Y'all catch Buck here in a minute. I know we not African. I don't know what that Buck my boy, but so he probably do got some information that I ain't got to say we not Africans. I'm not gonna knock him because Buck be studying this ass off. But when I do my presentation, I'm letting everybody in the chat know.
Look,
When I do my presentation
suit.
on that, we African.
It's in my car. Look, it's just sitting in the car.
You better put that shit in the trunk. People here will rob you.
I'm in my garage. My car is not sitting outside. Hell to the no. And I got your thumb drive in here with all your books on it and everything.
bed. Tell y'all don't look, this is what I tell y'all. Because I done said this like 4 or 5 times. The number one person to get any information from on this app would be Mo. I'm telling
And
y'all.
I
Like
ain't gonna lie to you.
the people
I know y'all. Look, I know y'all see me in other lives. Y'all getting there like, oh, Mo up there, and I go in there and I'm teaching them Christianity. I'm teaching them Islam. I'm teaching them astrology. I'm not gonna lie about anything. I ain't gotta believe it, but I'm gonna tell you the truth about it. So anything you ask me for, people done ask me for Christian research, research on the chakras, whatever you want, I can give it to you. Because I'm not gonna lie about it anyway. I'm not gonna just give you something that's gonna make what you said like make your belief real. I'm just gonna give you the history of it. Because that's what I'm concerned with. I want to know where the shit came from since it's affecting our lives so much today. Like where did this shit even come from? Who's behind this shit? And I'm neutral, so I ain't got no problem. I'm neutral.
I got a book. I got a book about revolutionary monotheism, the inception of the Israeli nation. A book about that. They may need to start looking into that a little
freak,
bit more.
you gonna fuck around and you gonna be like, you know what? I give up.
Give up for what?
I'm telling you this because you do it. You're studying too much. You're gonna be one of those on the fence believers.
Hell no.
I see it. I can see it.
I know y'all want me on the dark side because we turned into a trio. We shutting stuff down.
We got the trio. We got Buck, Bow, and Shooter, EMS.
It's already dealt with, man. The only thing you could do is fall in line.
Bro,
With the issue is a lot of the thing. We know what I know is people. We don't have no God to offer anybody. I think that's one of the things that makes what we doing not popular. Like, man, I ain't got no God or nothing. Like, we don't have no superheroes for you. You on your own. We just dealing with the truth. We ain't got no fantasy for you or none of that shit. So it's kind
well,
of
We ain't
like
got
it's
no
not
Dr.
attractive.
George. We ain't got no Noble Drew Ali. We ain't got no Marcus Garvey, no Malcolm X. We just people.
well, I mean, the disciples didn't have no God to offer you either. I mean,
But they was teaching they were teaching the teachings of the book
yeah,
to
well, they
come
was really,
to come to Jesus. See, we're not selling Jesus fruit pies. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you can go out there on TikTok, right? You can find whoever the number one Christian guy is on TikTok. He ain't gonna come into our life with me, Mo, and Buck. Shit, good luck with that. Good luck with that. He ain't
They
gonna do
already
it.
know.
He
They
ain't gonna
already
do it.
know.
Matter of
They
fact,
done
I was
tried it.
live months ago, and it was at nighttime. This is when you was moving, Mo. It was me, Kenya, and Emily, and somebody got up there. Matter of fact, it was the lady you was talking to. You remember that black lady you was talking to, and she said she won the lottery and stuff. I forgot her name.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It was her. Her and Emily got into it, and Emily's a believer, right? Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
Emily went in. Emily went in. So not only do you got Buck, Mo, and Suitney, we got other people we can tag in to just finish the job.
I keep
As
telling
a matter of
y'all,
fact, I should say Kenya too, because Kenya part of the squad. Because when
I keep,
Kenya pull up, she don't even let them rest. She's like, yeah, all that shit fake. She
I
don't even
keep
let them
telling
talk.
y'all, I don't have no assistants. And y'all think I be lying. I have
It's just I
absolutely,
told you it's just you. You need a team, man.
I don't have no team, bro. I'm not gonna get no team ever. Look, bro, it is one person on TikTok who really do the stuff like I do. Have y'all heard that inspiring philosophy dude?
Mm-mm.
Bro, bro, inspiring philosophy. That is the only person who really do the stuff that I do.
He a believer?
He's a believer and a philosopher.
Well,
Y'all should go look
maybe
him
he
up.
need
He's really,
maybe he needs to come join the Dark Side Live one day so we can tear him down too.
I don't. Yeah, that's not gonna work. He's the one who be building us up.
What you mean that ain't gonna work?
That's not gonna work. Where you think I be getting
Okay.
my information books from?
Hey, hey, that's fine. You believe it when you see it. Come to the dark
Hey,
side.
I'm flawless. No people done tried. They done went and got pastors, theologians, professors. It don't work. That nobody
I
has
mean,
ever seen.
it's a difference to believe. That's cool. But when you try to prove all this stuff was real, you about to run into a historical flaw.
No, we don't simply believe it. It's all provable.
Then what are you believing it for?
So you
Why are
telling
they
me
still
all the
search?
prophecies? Hold on, Mo. All the
Yeah.
prophecies in Daniel came to fruition.
No, they have some of them haven't came to fruition yet. But
Some of them.
are you going to use the prophecy to discredit the rest of the book?
I'm not discrediting anything right now. I'm just asking a question.
Some of them haven't came to fruition. Daniel 7 came to fruition.
What if there was nobody in history that was ever named Daniel?
I think Daniel would be a probably from old Aramaic to Hebrew to English. His name probably wasn't Daniel. I don't know what he was.
Ah, boy, been searching. That's exactly what we was about to hit you with.
Daniel, Danieli, something like that.
Yeah,
Or
he was. But it sounded like he was a Phoenician, right?
name,
Or
I doubt it.
or should I say Daniel? That's a Canaanite name. Listen, anybody in the Bible who has L in their name is a Canaanite. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Hey, I ain't gonna disagree with
Anybody in
that.
the Bible got L, E-L. They're a Canaanite.
I think that's presuppositional, big bro.
I mean, because they attach their God to their name,
I
just
think that
like the
would be a,
Yahs.
I think that would be an association fallacy. I think with the Yahs you got, but I don't know about the L's.
Because you don't want to go that far into history.
Do you know who you're talking to?
You want to stop at Yah. Well, then how do you don't know this? You think we just
Yeah,
made it
yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We didn't make, we
Woo-ha.
didn't make it up. Hezekiah, Yah, Elijah. They not. That's not a mistake that they putting the Yah on their name or the L. That's just a coincidence.
Like you got,
Pause. Hold on.
you had, you had Judah and Israel that were two different tribes, and then they merged and they become one. They become one tribe, and then God kills off part of the tribe. Why is
No,
why is God killing off part of the tribe if they one people? That don't make no
they
sense, bro.
they split. They split. If y'all go in numbers,
Okay,
if y'all
well,
go
show me where the in history where where Judah had 12 tribes in it in history, not just in the book.
I might be able to. Matter of fact, hold on, I don't know if you can find it in history, but I have this map that
You
shows the
know who
separate.
did have tribes in history? The
Oh,
Greeks.
Yep, the Romans did too. The Gens, they called them the Gens, and they were divine people connected to the source, the chosen tribes. The same thing, the same story.
well,
Freak,
remember,
have
like I
you
told
ever
you.
heard? Freak,
Remember,
have
I
you ever?
told.
I'm gonna give you a gem. Have you ever heard of Russell Gemerkin?
I've heard of him.
Oh man, that's gonna
You
hurt the body.
really need to get into his work. After you get into his work, you're gonna come to the dark side.
I'm not gonna come to the dark side. There's too
Okay,
much.
I'm glad
There's,
you think that.
why would I? Why would
You
I?
don't even you don't even know you already there.
No,
But what you think the dark
Hey,
side is? We don't got no
how's
pentagrams over
everybody
here, G.
doing?
The
All
dark
absolutely.
right.
side is just the dark side is just what's unknown. It's the truth. It's what's unknown to people.
It's not
Hey,
unknown.
guys,
You just don't
excuse me,
know it.
going right back to what you guys were saying with the genie. That's right, they were called genies.
Are those tribes?
Freak, just come on, man, embrace it.
I'm okay.
Yeah, that's
See?
what their tribes were, genies or magicians or witches or whatever they want to call themselves. But if they want to originate everything back, they have to go back to source. And the source all originates right where all those signs you see right behind you are Egypt. You got to follow it back, and that's where source comes from.
They
Look,
can't
look,
deal with
look,
that.
freak. You
They
see
scared
this?
of those
You
people.
see that
They scared of
symbol
them.
and that? You see the shins? You see them shins, boy? Hey, come on, boy.
You guys know. You guys know every single
Hey,
time.
look. You see that? You see that disc at the top? Those sun rays coming down. Oh,
There's also a story that talks about a war that happened in 1869, in which Great Britain, not Great Britain, it was Britain back then, went into Ethiopia, and then they stole all the scrolls, and they stole about $1 billion in gold. And guess what? The king that killed himself in that time because he didn't want to surrender to them was called King Tetros II, and he was called the King of Kings, the Messiah, Lord of Lords.
oh, like Mithra was. See, freak. Come on, man, embrace it.
Hey, look,
Yeah,
hey,
they
That's
all
look,
come back to
the
the same
but
thing.
1800s.
that's the thing.
Guess what?
That's
Hey,
the
guess what
thing.
happened? Guess what happened right around the same time? This guy,
And so,
But
Cinnamide,
there's
look,
no such thing. Listen,
Sinamide, right? He finds this text, this Sinaiticus or Sinaiticus.
Oh,
Right
that
around
sign
that
out.
same
He
time,
embraced
he
that.
mysteriously found the shit.
yeah, so in 1868, 1869, when that war happened, and Britain stole that and stole all the gold, they stole all the sacred scrolls. And it tells you that really all those people were priests. Whoever read the Bible and stuff, that was for the priests to get
Yep.
to the people, and were the ones who were really allowed to read that. And then everybody's going around reading that Bible and trying to break it down and trying to teach everybody else about it when it's meant for a priesthood to understand and a priesthood to bring it. So anyway, make a long story short, the Roman Catholic Empire, which was the Roman Catholic Church. And when they stole those scrolls, that's when they had Constantine rewrite the King James Version, and that's where you get all the jibber jabber and everything else that they put in it.
wait,
And that's
pause,
where they
pause,
turned Jesus white and all that.
pause. You just went from you said Constantine, correct?
Yeah,
He went from
It
the
was a black pope
1800s.
at that time.
you don't
He went from
At
understand.
that
You
time,
don't
there was a black pope.
understand. Hey, freak, you're not understanding. There's this
Hey,
shit is
excuse me,
so
my name's
deep
not Freak.
that
My name is Alex.
no, not you.
Did you
I'm talking
understand that
talking about
part?
freak.
Okay.
Hold on,
Sorry,
I was talking
didn't
to
get it.
freak. Yeah,
I didn't see his
yeah.
nickname. Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
yes, no, you good, you good. But there's a Constantine, more than one Constantine, close to our time.
Yes,
People don't
because the
understand it.
thing is that they're
They were
making you
right.
Run that
Yeah,
back. You said it's a
yeah. There's a
what?
listen. They're trying to make you
Constantine.
guys no.
Guys,
They're trying to make you guys believe that this shit happened 2,000 years ago, and this shit only happened
th-
153 years ago.
They're the master backdaters. They listen. They could
guys,
have made up
Yeah.
all of these
You
characters.
gonna have to call me on that, Mo. I
Listen,
ain't
hey, look,
never
look, look,
heard
look. It gets
this.
deeper. Look, it gets deeper. There's a Paul too. There's a Paul
Yes.
around that time.
Paul.
Paul.
Paul. They. Paul. They. Paul. They got it from the name. from the name of Egypt, the old name Hekupta. Well, Ta is Peter,
Pause. Pause.
and
Pause.
then
Pause.
Paul is another name. So they change other names around.
Pause. Does anyone have any substantiation for this stuff?
I'm going to get it
Yes,
right
if you
now.
go back
I'm
to
going to
the
get it
old
right now for you.
Ethiopian Bible too,
Why would we be going back to? Why would we be going back to the old
because
Ethiopian
that's
Bible?
where all the scrolls were stolen from and taken to Rome.
But where's your evidence to? Where's your evidence to support this? Like, where's your historical
Right.
evidence to support?
And you can everything I'm saying, you can verify it on YouTube. You could go back to the Solomonic dynasties.
Oh,
Now we ain't saying y'all Judah's the Messiah, but we telling you the information.
Everybody in the live, go follow Alex. Please go follow this man.
well, there's a lot of stuff. Well, there's a lot of stuff that's online. I mean, the Flavius, the
Listen, guys, I
the
didn't
piece
say
of
Judah is the Messiah. I didn't say
I
that.
know. I'm just making
You
sure
guys said
because some
that.
people, I don't want people to confuse this information with that we're agreeing that he's the Messiah. I don't want them to
Yes,
confuse it because they'll come back later
yes,
and say that.
no. Listen, when you have
But this
people
that
that
don't make no
teachers
sense
and
because
try
the
to tell you
Solomonic
something, you
dynasty
look
is
them up.
not that old. So when Yahweh Judah is talking about, oh, the Solomonic dynasty is the oldest dynasty, he made that shit up.
See, I'm still waiting for them to send me the reference to that.
He's not
But
gonna send it to you, bro.
Yeah, I'm just going by the war that happened. I'm not going by what he's talking about.
No, I'm going off what he be talking. He be
yeah,
talking a lot of
There's
bull.
another guy that he died just last month. His name is Jordan Maxwell, and he was an ex
Whoa, the Jordan
Catholic,
Maxwell
and
passed? I
then
didn't know that.
yes, he passed last month. Man, it's been like a month and 3 days or something like that.
what?
No, actually on the
Hold
21st
on.
of last month he passed away.
what's the name?
I did
Y'all,
not know that.
I must have been gone for a long time because y'all was. What are you even talking about?
So you recognize Jordan Maxwell, so you know that a lot of
He
the
said,
stuff that I talk about. That's why you see every state has a sign of a sun coming out of a mountain.
can you stop?
Everything points to
You're
the
not about to
east.
leave from Ethiopia.
I'm giving you different sorts of information. I'm not just staying on one topic. I'm sorry, I might be all over the place.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's okay. I don't trust a lot of. I don't trust a lot of stuff that I hear if it can't be substantiated.
Okay. So
Exactly, we
this
need to
is this is
study.
from this is from this is from his letter.
Ooh,
Hold on. I'm getting you the
Who's
name.
left?
What's his name? Hold on. Let me get to his name. Because I want to make sure I say it right too. His name is spelled kind of funny.
I learned a long time ago when people talk to me about religion, I just go back to seeing where it's coming from because most of it, you know,
Simonide. Simonide or Simonide. Simonides, right? This dude is speaking to, and this is in the 1800s. He's speaking with the people at the monastery. He allegedly found this text that was supposed to be burnt up. This is the story. The text was about to be burnt up. They're burning up all of these leaves with these inscriptions on these Bible passages on them. And he found it in a bucket that was about to be burned, and he took it. He brought it back, and he presented it to the people. And he wanted to go back because he actually took it from Latin to Greek. He took it from Latin to Greek, and another guy went and tried to present it to the people because they were trying to make money off of it. Now I think these two dudes were working together, but that's just my theory. I think they said if we both go forward and present this to the people, if they
yes,
find out it's
they
a
probably
forgery,
did.
yeah, if they find out it's a forgery, then they both get in trouble. But if one person gets accused of forgery, then the other guy can say, hey, I'm the one who did that myself. I took it from Latin and wrote it in Greek for my own personal reasons. But he found it and he thought it was real. So then they both get off. Because one guy thought it was real, allegedly, and the other guy didn't know he was going to present it to the people as a real, artifact, right? So that's what I think that's my personal theory. But when he went back, Simonide, when he went back to the monastery to go get more of the text, they had took his translation that he did, taking it from Latin and putting it into Greek, right? They took that and they removed the evidence that he did it because he wrote his name on there and he wrote that he did it for Constantius. Constantius, coming from the name Constantine. The god Constantius is the one he did it for. They were supposed to be presenting that to him as a gift. It was never something that was supposed to be looked at as an older manuscript. But when he looked in the monastery to go, and he's just going through there looking for books until he can go back and go look through those buckets and find some more stuff to, to translate. He found his book that he copied himself. He found his book in there that he was working on, and they aged it. They put it in coffee and shit and wrinkled it up and made it look like it was older than what it was. So he came out and admitted that he did it. He didn't say, I forged it. He said, I'm the one who did this translation, and these people are making it seem like this is an older manuscript, and it's not. And they took him to court and everything. He's telling them, I did this. This isn't a manuscript from 300 AD. Huh?
I said, let me guess, they put him on house arrest.
He disappeared. He's
But
gone.
pause. Well,
We don't even know how he died. He just disappeared.
well, I mean,
it's because
So wait, hold on, wait. I want to make this last point. They are forcing him. They're not putting him on trial, accusing him of forgery. They're telling him it's real, and they're trying to disprove that he's the one who did it. He's sitting there trying to. So people came out and tried to admit that they did this text themselves, and it's not as old as people are trying to say it is, and they denied him of that. So someone tried to tell the truth, and I see that as really messed up. That someone came out and they're trying to tell the world the truth, but these people, since so many people are paying attention to it, and they're donating money while this stuff is on display, Sinaiticus, they're donating money. They're making millions of dollars off of this stuff. People think this is real. They want to just go up and touch it because this is the word of God. And he's coming out saying, I wrote that. I took a Latin text and I wrote it in Greek for my own personal reasons. And they wouldn't accept his word. He tells them how he did it.
And back in the day, that was
this is the part. Hold up, real quick, because I have to read this. This is very important. This part is very important. So this is his letter that he's writing to the guy that was supposed to be helping him present this to Constantius. He says, my dearly beloved son, in the Holy Spirit, Simonides. Grace be with you and peace from God. I receive the unfeigned satisfaction, your truly valuable transcript of the Holy Scriptures, namely the Old and New Testaments, together with the epistle of Saint Barnabas, and the first part of the pastoral writings of Hermes, bound in one volume, which shall be placed in the library of Mount Sinai, according to your wish. But he said, but I exhort you earnestly, if you ever by God's will shall return to the sacred Mount Athos to finish your work as you originally designed, and he will reward you. Okay. He said, be with me on the third day of the month, that I may give you letters to the illustrious A.S. Stortzes and inform him of your talents and abilities and give you a few hints which will prove useful to the success of your plans.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Where did you get that?
He's telling. This is his letter.
I just think it's new information for me. I'd like to know what you.
This is Simon. This is Simonides' letter. This is the origins of the Codex Sinaiticus.
Well, can I say something?
Yeah, you don't have to send me that shit, Mo.
Can I say something?
I ain't never heard this shit.
Can I say something?
Yeah, that'd be nice if you send that. That'd be nice if you send that link. Yeah.
You see, and the key words there was his plans, your talents, and because look, this the last part. I promise. This is the last part. In the court, In his court transcript, they were telling him that he's not even talented enough to do something like that. But this is the guy telling him. He's saying, I want to inform higher people, people in positions of power, of your talents and your abilities, and even give you a few hints that may prove useful to the success of your plans. You see what I'm saying? So that's how they won. That's how they beat him in the court case, saying he didn't have those abilities. But someone is saying that he clearly does have those abilities, and they were so good that they put him in the library as a text that dated back to 300 AD. He had to be good.
Can I? So may I say
Yeah,
something?
go ahead.
May
Go
I?
ahead.
So 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 if this happened this happened at the pinnacle of the 19th century, the amount of technology we have today to verify if something can be dated paleographically to an accurate era is far greater than what it was 200 years ago. Codex Sinaiticus, Codex Alexandrius, Codex, and the other two codices, the other two
Vaticanus.
Vatican, the other two unicial codices that date
Vaticanus.
to around 300 to 375 years after the crucifixion are still held at certain locations. Now, from my perspective, if this text was a forgery, as what you just read said, this would be wide attested and well known. If the paleographic community and the archaeological community can be humble and open about other things that they believed were true, but they weren't, I don't understand why Codex Atticus would not also what would also be up for scrutiny. Um,
It is. They're
the,
not. They're they're hiding it.
but
What
that's
do you
the
mean? I
thing.
gotta look for this shit. Like I
But
just
that,
found it a few weeks ago, but I've been
but yeah,
searching for years. You gotta dig for this shit. There are
all
people
right, well,
not Colenso. Colenso, listen, Colenso came out before that and said that the shit was a forgery. They didn't believe him. He went to court and won the case. He went to court and presented his evidence, and he was found, and they ruled in his favor and said he was correct. William Colenso. So this, they already have information. There's other people challenging it, but you got to realize how powerful the church is.
well,
If they
if
say
Codex,
day is night,
Very
it will be
powerful.
written.
if
The
Codex
church was the one
Sinaiticus is
that made kings.
if
He could
Codex
have been knighted a
Sinaiticus
king if
if Codex Sinaiticus is a forgery, how does that reduce the reliability of the other three?
Who's talking about that? You see, we're not into jumping out the window. The man made a statement, and I was given sources to show people that this shit is legit. That this did happen. People were talking about it being a forgery. They were talking about texts being stolen from people. They were destroying texts at the time. That's all I was pointing out. I mean, your faith is your faith. I'm just pointing out what happened in history.
Well, what is this
yeah, well,
source? Does this source have any citations or peer reviews, or I mean scratch the citation, peer
we're
reviews.
talking about stolen history.
Can I
He's talking
Okay,
verify?
so
about
so
what's the
this is what
proof.
happened. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. You got to follow this straight through, right? And I got we
Can
got
I
to, but we got to follow this straight through. Listen, when it came out, when they presented it, they accepted it as real without even checking it. That's the problem. So now that we're showing that someone came out and admitted that he did it, now people want to go, well, let me see the sources. Where were people asking for sources when it was first presented? They just took it at face value.
Well, I don't take anything at face value. When they found that cracker that had those inscriptions of the curse scripture from Joshua, I didn't even believe that when I first saw it.
You talking about the
The-
new stuff, the new writings that they found?
That Yeah, that new archaeological stuff, I didn't even take that. They said it was the
Yeah,
size of a
they're
cracker.
supposed to be publishing it all during the summer.
They said
So
it's the
you guys
size of
don't look at that.
they said it's the size of a cracker, bro. That could be anything. How would we even know what was written on it? So I didn't
Hey,
take that value either. I also didn't take any
I'm
other
just waiting for
any
them to bring it out. They said
I
they're
didn't
gonna
take
release it during the summer. They didn't say what month. So I'm gonna be on the lookout.
I don't take anything at face value. I'm
But
also
I'm gonna let everybody know now. that the number one guy that's going through the text, he's a true believer.
I mean, I'm not. I'm not trying to. I mean,
Okay,
I'm in no position of the
you,
church. I
you
have
got a
no power.
pen?
I'm
You,
skeptical. I'm skeptical with majority of anything I look
do you
at.
have a pen
Yeah. Hold on. Let me. Oh
for some
God.
sources? Because I'll give you some sources. I ain't making this up.
Man, I feel like
I'm
an
not
old.
making
I feel
this
like
shit
an
up.
old man trying to get up.
Look, no one nowadays doubts the antiquity of the importance of the Codex Sinaiticus. But this was not the case in the early 1860s, shortly after Tischendorf had announced his discovery. In 1862, a Greek called Constantine Simonides caused a stir in the ecclesiastical and literal circles by announcing that the Codex Sinaiticus, which Tischendorf was claiming as an ancient manuscript, was in fact a recent work and had been in fact written in 1840 by Simonides himself.
So is it
People been
real or is
talking
it
about
fake?
this shit. This is old
So,
news.
well, is it real or is it fake? Let's just
he
get down
wrote,
to
he
the.
said he wrote it.
Okay,
He
so
admitted he
Codex.
wrote it. And look, let me give you something real quick. You know about Hermes, what is it called? The Shepherd of Hermes.
Hermes
You heard of that, right?
Trismegistus.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I'm aware of the
Shepherd
Shepherd
of
of Hermes.
Hermes, right? This text, remember, what did the guy say when he said your works and your talents? He said specifically referring to the Old Testament and New Testament and the epistles of Barnabas. You know why he said specifically referring
Yeah,
to those? Because that's part of the
they
collection
don't
that he
want to
wanted
do
to
it.
talk about. He wasn't
Okay, so
talking
you
about
come,
the Shepherd of Hermes
come back in
text
the house.
that was connected to it because that wasn't
Well,
his concern. He was focused on the biblical part. But that was the first thing that they found was a forgery was the
well, see,
Shepherd of Hermes. The reason why it's all the same writing, it's all on the same paper, the same handwriting, and the same signature from the same person. But
well,
they
that would.
they 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 left the Shepherd of Hermes as a forgery, but the rest of it was true.
Well, no one thinks the Shepherd of Hermes is a forgery. Shepherd of Hermes was brought to ecumenical
Okay,
council.
well,
It is. The
Say
do you
text is a
believe the
forgery. He wrote it.
do you
Codex
believe the
Sinaiticus,
apocryphas are real,
the
or do you
Apocryphas.
throw them out as fallacy as well?
What do you mean? What do you mean when you say real? Like, do I think that they were written by biblical authors or the people who wrote the
Yeah,
Bible?
yes,
No. Was I supposed to? No, I don't. I don't believe so.
I believe so.
No.
So
Here you
you
go.
pick
Here you
and
go.
choose
Here you go.
you pick and choose
Look.
what you want to follow.
Here you go. By contrast, J.K. Elliott, page 10 and 12, quotes a minimal statement of Tischendorf concerning his change of mind and does not himself mention the implications. This is in the Journal of Sacred Literature, July 1859. Sinaiticus must be kept afloat at all costs. You hear? They're saying it's fake, and they're going against it. Like, no, we got to keep this shit going. It says we can absolutely certain that rather than resort to the embarrassing climb down, Tischendorf would have tried to show, if he could, that the Shepherd of Hermes was only an attachment by a much later hand. He could not, though. He knew well it was the integral part of the section of the Codex, the same ink, the same vellum, and the same exact handwriting. It's all on the same paper. But we're not, this is something that we're forgetting. Tischendorf, remember, he's the one who presented it as real. Now, I said my theory was that they were working together so that they can get off in case someone finds out it's a forgery. He can just go, oh, no, wait, I'm the one who did that. But it wasn't a forgery. I was writing it for my own personal reasons. I threw it in the trash. He found it. And he thought it was real. My bad. They both get off. That's me. You see, that's my theory. But in reality, someone is coming out saying, I did this. And other people are saying, no, this is real. What? What research did they do to say it was real? And even to this day, people are questioning me when I'm just talking about the person who confessed to doing it. And they already said part of the script was fake. They just don't want to use the whole thing. No, this part is fake, but it's the same ink, same handwriting, and the same material. But this part is fake, and the rest of it is real. Come on now.
Something sounds weird. So it's the same ink, the same paper you said,
Yup.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me that, Mo.
and
But y'all,
and then
I'm
half
about
of
to
it
go
is.
ahead and get off of here. So I'm gonna let everybody give their closing little segment.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and step down, guys. It was nice listening to you guys. Speak peace and blessings on everybody.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
gonna let
people trying
somebody
to
else have
follow
an
you, Alex.
opportunity.
So you just gotta accept their follow.
What's your name? Mo. I mean, Mo. You finna make
Sure.
a law?
Say what?
How do I?
Is somebody finna make a law?
Y-
I think you got to do it when you step
King,
down, Alex. I don't think you can do it while you are host or guest.
King
Okay.
it, King it,
All right,
ask King
guys.
it. King it might go live. All right, bro. Peace.
Peace.
King
Take
is
care,
probably
guys.
All right,
yeah.
Kufu.
Oh, she in my law. Never mind. I didn't know she was still in here. I thought she left.
Oh wait, freak, you still there?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
he get.
finna. Yeah,
Yeah, I can
just
say. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. I forgot. I got your email. I'll send it to you.
what's the name? I mean, Kufu. What's the name? It was great talking to you, bro. You know, just hey, man, just dip, I guess.
Yeah, Mr. I moved from Chicago and shit. Like a
Uh,
Florida Mormon. Oh, we're moving to Seattle.
all right,
I
see,
bet
I'm
that's
about to go finish reading this shit. I know.
you got to smell of the ocean and shit.
All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.
All right.
All right. All right, y'all.